Hello everyone, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome to this GitHub Copilot Exam Q&A video series. This is part 1. Let's start with a question. Question 1. Which Microsoft ethical AI principle is aimed at ensuring AI systems treat all people equally? So the term is equally, it should treat all people equally. So you can look into these options and pause this video here for a few seconds and try to answer this question. So the answer is fairness. Next question. What types of prompts or code snippets might be flagged by the GitHub Copilot toxicity filter? Each correct answer presents the part of solutions and you have to choose two answers. Okay. So pause for a few seconds and then try to answer if you know that. Okay, now the answer is A. Hate speech or discriminatory languages. Second, suggestive or explicit content. Next question. When can GitHub Copilot still use content that was excluded using content exclusion? And the answer is if the contents of an excluded file are referenced in code that is not excluded, for example, function calls. Question 4. What is one of the recommended practices when using GitHub Copilot Chat to enhance the code quality? Answer is B. Regularly review and refactor the code suggested by Copilot. Question 5. What specific functions does the slash fix slash command perform? Answer is D. Proposes changes for detected issues, suggesting corrections for syntax errors and programming mistakes. Question 6. How can GitHub Copilot assist in maintaining the consistency across your tests? Okay, try to answer this question. This is very important. This usually comes in the exam. And the answer is by identifying a pattern in the way you write tests and suggesting similar patterns for future tests. Question 7. What is the best way to share feedback about GitHub Copilot Chat when using it on GitHub Mobile? This is again very important question. And the answer is C. Use the emojis in the Copilot chat interface. Question 8. Which of the following are true about code suggestions? Choose 2. Answer is C and E. Alternate code suggestions can be shown in a new tab, and then you can use keyboard shortcuts to accept the next word in a suggestions. Like you will get the multiple suggestions, so you have to press right the arrow from the keyboard, and then you will see the next suggestions like that. Question 9. What is few sort prompting? So if you already know about like zero sort, few sorts like that, so you will be aware of this and you can easily answer this. And the answer is B. Telling GitHub Copilot about the mechanism you want it to use and how to incorporate that into the response. Question 10. What type of information can you retrieve through GitHub Copilot business subscriptions via REST API? Each correct answer presents part of solutions. Choose two. You have to answer. You have to choose two correct answers here. Okay, and this is also very important questions. Answer is B and C. List all GitHub Copilot seat assignments for an organization and get a summary of GitHub Copilot usage for organization members. Question 11. Which of the following steps correctly demonstrates how to establish an organization wide policy for GitHub Copilot Business to restrict its use to certain repository? This is again a very important question. This will come in exam. And the answer is configure the policies in the organization settings. So from the organization settings, you can configure the policy. Question 12. Which of the following prompts can be used to guide GitHub Copilot Chat in refactoring code for quality improvements? You have to choose two. Pause here and try to answer. At least try to give some wrong answer. Try to find the nearest answer here. So the answer is suggest ways to enhance the maintainability of this code segment and show me how to improve the readability of this function. So A and C. Question 13. Which GitHub Copilot plan could an Azure DevOps organization use without requiring a GitHub Enterprise license? And answer is GitHub Copilot for Azure DevOps. So there is a separate license already available for this one. Which of the following describes role prompting? I think you can easily answer this, right? Answer is describing in your prompt what role is to get a better suggestions, right? You remember, like you say, like okay, act as this. Question 15. Which GitHub Copilot pricing plans include features that exclude your GitHub Copilot data like usage, prompts, and suggestions from default training GitHub Copilot? Choose two correct answers. And the answer is GitHub Copilot Enterprise and then Business, right? It's B and C. Question 16. What can be done during AI development to minimize the bias? This is again very important questions. And answer is use diverse data, fairness matrix, and human oversight. Question 17. Which scenarios can GitHub Copilot Chat be used to increase the productivity? You have to choose two. And the answer is C and D. Create a documentation file for the newly created code base, and a developer is added to a new project and would like to understand the current software code. 18 question. What is the primary role of the slash optimize slash command in the Visual Studio? This is again important question. You should know about all this slash command, like slash test, optimize, all these things. And the answer is D. Enhances the performance of the selected code by analyzing its runtime complexity. Question 19. A social media manager wants to use AI to filter content. How can they promote the transparency in the platform's AI operations? And the answer is A. By providing clear explanations about the types of content the AI is designed to filter and how it arrives at the conclusion. Question 20. Which of the following GitHub Copilot business related activities can be tracked using the organization audit logs? And the answer is C. Changes to content exclusion settings. 21 number question. What is the process behind identifying the public code matches when using a public code filter enabled in GitHub Copilot? Again, this is a very important question. And the answer is comparing the suggestions against the public code using machine learning. Next question. When using an IDE with a supported GitHub Copilot plugin, which chat features can be accessed from within the IDE? You have to choose two. So there will be two correct answers. And the answer is B and C. Explain code and suggest improvements and generate unit tests. Next question. When using GitHub Copilot Chat to generate unit tests, which slash command would you use? To generate the test unit test, which slash command you will use. So there are four options, and this is again very important questions. If I'm saying very important or important question means that will come in the exam. Okay, and the answer is A slash tests. 24. Which Copilot individual features are available using when using a supported extension for Visual Studio, VS Code, or JetBrains IDs? Choose two. And this is again very important. Answer is A and B. Code suggestions and chat. 25 question. What is it important to ensure the security of the code used in the generative AI, means Gen AI tools? And this is important question. Answer is ensuring the code security prevents unauthorized access and potential data breaches. Question 26. What role does chat history play in GitHub Copilot's code suggestions? Answer is B. Chat history provides context to GitHub Copilot, improving the relevance and accuracy of code suggestions. Yeah, I think this is again a very important question. 27. Basically, I'm recalling it from my exam. So, what is a benefit of using custom model in GitHub Copilot? And the answer is B. Responses use practices and patterns in your repositories. Question 28. How does the slash test slash command assist developers? I think you already have noticed the same type of question previously, right? So you can easily answer this. And the answer is create unit tests for the selected code. So what is the use of slash test slash command? So it is used to create unit tests for the selected code. Question 29. How does GitHub Copilot chat help in understanding the existing code base? This is also important. And the answer is by answering questions about the code and generating explanation. Question 30. What are the potential risks associated with relying heavily on code generated from GitHub Copilot? And the answer is A and C. GitHub Copilot may introduce security vulnerabilities by suggesting the code with known exploits. And the GitHub Copilot suggestions may not always reflect best practices or the latest code standards. Yeah, this is also important questions. Try to practice these questions. So start watching this video from starting and try to pause before I answer. So pause and try to answer. Okay. So try this multiple times. Not only like you have seen the video one time. No, this is not for the one time watch. Try to watch multiple times. Try to recall the from the previous and from your mind and try to answer this, right? We'll cover more questions in the next video. Please like this video and please subscribe to this channel and please share this with your friends. Thank you so much for watching this video.